problem, and 10 grams of the adsorbent activated charcoal is taken, that is added to the 200 ml of the 0.5 molar oxalic acid solution. In this process, some amount of the oxalic acid is absorbed on the charcoal. Due to this, the amount of the oxalic acid in the solution decreases and its concentration is reduced to the 0.4 molar. Now we have to, from this data, and we have to find out the mass of the oxalic acid adsorbed. So once you know the mass of the oxalic acid adsorbed and mass of the activated charcoal, you can find out the X by M. So let us calculate the oxalic acid adsorbed. That is millimoles of oxalic acid taken, that is equal to 200 into 0.5, that is 100 millimoles. Next, millimoles of oxalic acid left in the solution is 200 ml. Volume remains same, but concentration is changed 0.4, that is equal to 80. So now I am calculating in millimoles. Millimoles adsorbed is equal to 20. Difference. Next one is the mass of is equal to millimoles into millimolecular weight. 90 is the molecular mass into 10 to the power of minus 3. This comes to the 1.8 grams. X by M is equal to, X is the mass of the oxalic acid, M is the adsorbent. 1.8 divided by 10, that is equal to 0.18 is our answer. That is, the C is correct option for us. In this problem, and 100 ml of the 0.5 molar acetic acid is taken. There is a print mistake, that is the 100 ml of 0.5 molar acetic acid. It's not the 0.05 mole. The print mistake. And to that 2 grams of the charcoal is added. So that acetic acid is adsorbed on the surface of that is charcoal. 2 grams of the charcoal. He has given a condition. So that is, acid molecules are forming a monolayer. Unimolecular layer is formed on the surface of the charcoal. Due to the adsorption, the molarity of the acetic acid decreases. The final concentration of the acetic acid is given, that is 0.49. That means 0.5 molar solution to 0.49 molar solution. And total surface area of the charcoal is given 3 into 10 square meter square per gram. It is the surface area of the 1 gram of the per gram of the charcoal is given. But 2 grams of the charcoal is given. Total surface area of the charcoal is 2 into 3. That is 6 into 10 to the power 10 square. That is meter square is the total surface area. See, the surface area of the charcoal absorbed by each molecule of the acetic acid, and is asking to find out what is the area occupied by the each molecule of the acetic acid. So first we have to find out the total number of acetic acid molecules adsorbed on the surface, right? How many molecules are adsorbed? First we have to find out from the initial concentration and the final concentration. 2. After determining the number of molecules, that is, we have to find out area covered by the each molecule. That is the total surface area of the charcoal divided by, that is total number of acetic acid molecules absorbed to form the monolayer. The ratio is nothing but the, that is area occupied by the each molecule. So now let me find out, that is the here, and millimoles of acetic acid. I write it as the ACOH, that is the normal symbol in the organic chemistry. That is 100 into this is 100 into 0.05. That is 5 millimoles. And millimoles of acetic acid left same is equal to 100 into 0.49, that is equal to, that is 4 point, not 0.5, sorry, this is not, again I am doing the mistake, that is 0.5, this is 50 millimoles of this is not correct, 0.5 moles of this molar solution. See, this is 49 millimoles left in the solution. Millimoles adsorbed is equal to, that is 1. Number of molecules of acetic acid in 1 millimole. See, 1000 millimoles contains 1 mole contains 6 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules. 1 contains how much? From this you can find out. This is 6 into 10 to the power of, that is 20 molecules. How many molecules are adsorbed? 20 molecules. 6 into 10 to the power of 20 molecules are adsorbed. Now, let me take the other thing. And surface area. Area of adsorbent. I told you 2 into 2 grams per gram is given 3 into 10 to the power of, that is 2, that is 6 into 10 to the power of 2 meter square. Total surface area. And area covered by each this one, that is equal to area covered by, that is 2 into 10 to the power of 2 into 3, 6. This is not the correct. 6 into 10 to the power of 2 divided by, this is the total surface area, divided by total number of molecules. 6 into 10 to the power of 20 molecules are adsorbed. Simplification, that is 10 to the power of minus 20, that is meter square. So that is 6 into 10 to the power of 20. Surface area of the charcoal. This is this is area covered by the each molecule is this 6 into 10 to the power of 20 molecules. That is 2 into 6. This is the, your answer is 10 to the power of minus 18, 20. This is 18, sorry. this is 10 to the power of minus 18. This is the answer. Meter square is the area covered by the units are meter square. Is the area covered by the each one. So that is your answer is 10 to the power of minus 18. Where it is, that is A is correct option. I prefer to beginning to A. First year, second year. కామన్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఈ అమెరికాలో కూర్చొని నాకు ఎంతో పెద్దగా తెలిసిన. And next, physics option requires low activation energy, correct? But chemistry option requires high activation energy. That is also correct. So C is correct. The magnitude of the chemistry option increases with the and that of physics option decreases with the rise in temperature, correct? So A is correct, C is correct, D is correct statements, whereas B is the wrong statement. For this, the B is the correct option. See, rate of chemistry option. First option. Which of the following statements is not true? We have to pick up the one wrong statement from this. Both physics option and chemistry option are exothermic, right? And physical absorption takes place with the decrease of free energy, whereas the chemistry option occurs with the increase of free energy. See, both physical absorption and chemical absorption both are, that is, and spontaneous process delta G is negative, that is statement B is wrong. So both the cases, free energy decreases. B is wrong. So that is a correct option for us. Physics option requires low activation energy, but the chemistry option requires high activation energy. Correct. The magnitude of the chemistry option increases and that of the physics option decreases with the rise in temperature. You know, that is, as the temperature increases, physical absorption decreases, chemical absorption increases. D also the correct statement. A is correct, C is correct, D is correct statement, whereas B is wrong statement. He is asking to find out the wrong statement. That is, the B is correct. Next, in this question, rate of chemistry option. So, increases with a decrease in temperature. So, it increases with increase of temperature. Increases with increase in temperature. Correct. Statement B is correct. C, increases with decrease in pressure of the gas. No. C, D. Last one is not B, D. is independent of the pressure of the gas. No, it is the depends on the pressure of the gas. So now here the right answer, right choice is B. And now here in this question, which of the following statements is wrong? Is asking the wrong statement. That is, physical absorption of the gas is directly related to its critical temperature now, right? That is, the X by M is X by M, or the extent of the absorption is directly proportional to the, that is, and critical temperature Tc. And higher the critical temperature, that is the ease of absorption is more. He is asking the wrong statement. First statement is correct. Chemical absorption decreases regularly as the temperature increases. No, as the temperature increases, the chemical absorption, that is the increases. That is 2 is wrong statement. And adsorption is an exothermic process. Both physical and chemical are the exothermic process. Delta H is negative. 4. A solid with the rough surface is better absorbed than the same solid with the smooth surface. So that is, as the surface area, as it becomes the rough, then what happens? The surface area increases, the extent of the absorption increases. That is statement 4 also correct. 3 is correct, 4 is correct, 1 is correct. Only the 2 is wrong statement. Is asking to pick the wrong statement. 2 is the right answer for this question. Now, in this question, that is, which of the following is true during the adsorption? Which statement is applicable to the correct for the adsorption? The delta G, delta H, delta S are negative, correct? All are negative. And then overall delta G is negative. Change of free energy is free energy decreases, enthalpy decreases, entropy decreases. So 1 is the correct statement. Delta G is negative, but delta H and delta S are positive. No, both all are. If the A 1 is correct and 2 is pakka wrong. Delta G, delta H are negative. Delta S is positive. No. Third is wrong. Delta D, delta H are negative and delta H is positive. No. So 1 is correct. First option is correct. Next, which of the following electrolyte is more effective for the coagulation of ferric hydroxide? See, this is the FeOH taken thrice. Hydroxide is a positively charged colloid. It is a positively charged colloid, ferric hydroxide. Therefore, so which ion is required? That is electrolyte which supplies the, that is the negative charge. Anion is required. According to the, among the, here the Cl minus, the second case sulfate ion, third case phosphate ion are the, that is the coagulating ions. See, the coagulating power, that is the effectiveness of the, this one, it depends on the, according to Hartley and Sulji rules. That is, as the charge on the anion here increases, that is the effectiveness of the coagulation increases. Among the three, which is more effective coagulating agent? That is the electrolyte where the valency of the anion is more. That is, coagulating power of the phosphate ion is more than that of, that is, the sulfate ion is more than that of chloride ion. If this is the, yeah, that's all. Phosphate ion, sodium phosphate is the more effective coagulating agent. Now, see, another problem is, he has given the 100 ml of arsenous sulfide. See, remember, sulfide ore, this is the sulfide. Soles are the negatively charged soles. To this 100 ml is taken. To this, what is added? 5 ml of 1 molar NaCl is added. What is the flocculation value? What is the meaning of the flocculation value? What is the meaning of Fe? First of all, we should know it. The number of millimoles of the electrolyte required, number of millimoles of electrolyte required to coagulate 1000 ml of 1 liter. I am writing the 1000 ml of a colloidal solution. This is the response. And here, we have taken the only 100 ml is taken. We have taken the 100 ml, not the 1 liter. And how much sodium chloride is required? 5 ml of 1 molar NaCl is required. How many millimoles is required? Only 5 millimoles is required. 5 millimoles of sodium chloride is required to coagulate it. Now, see, this is 5 ml is required for the 5 millimoles is required for the 100 ml. And now we have to find out the flocculation value or coagulation value is the millimoles required for the 1 liter. That is, now this is total. Flocculation value is equal to, or coagulation value is equal to, that is 5 into how much? 10. Why you are multiplying with the 10? Per liter we have to calculate. For 100 ml, 5 millimoles is required. For 1000 ml, how much is required? 1000 by 100 is 10. That is 50 millimoles is required. This 50 is the flocculation value or coagulation value of the NaCl for this colloidal solution. Now, see a positively charged here. The coagulation of 200 ml of the positive colloid took place with the 0.73 grams of and 0.73 grams of HCl is required. The electrolyte is required to carry out the coagulation. This is the for how much? For 200 ml of electrolyte, positively charged electrolyte, 200 ml of colloidal solution. And this is for 200 ml this is required, and for 1 liter how much is required? You have to find out 1 liter. How much is required? That is 0.73 grams into 5. This is, I think this comes to the and 3 points. Let me work out, and the product we have to calculate. This is the this is the positively charged colloid. The number is so now you have to work out on this. 200 ml. This is 0.3 per and 100 ml. That is the 36 point. 3.65. This is comes to 3.65 gram. If this is grams is required. For how much? Per liter 3.65 grams is required. So that is molecular mass is 36.5 is equal to, we have to calculate the millimole, 1000 millimoles. For 3.65, how many millimoles? This is nothing but that is and 100 millimoles. 100 millimoles is required. So option B is correct. See, in this problem, 50 ml of the gold salt is taken. It needs 0.05 milligrams of the gelatin for its protection from coagulation, and calculate the gold number of the gelatin. That is, gold number is nothing but the milligrams of the gelatin that to be added to the 10 ml of the this thing. For 50 ml, how much is required? That is 0.05 milligrams is required. That is for 10 ml, how much is required? How many milligrams is required? Very simple. That is this comes to the 0.01 milligram is required. Now the gold number is the 0.01. Lesser the gold number, higher the protecting power. 0.01 is the answer of the problem. That is next. Compare the coagulation power of the AlCl3 with that of sodium chloride, given that their coagulation values are given. See, respectively. That is the here is coagulation value. Coagulation value of AlCl3 by, they are inversely proportional. Coagulation value of NaCl is equal to reciprocal, and that is coagulation power of the NaCl divided by, is asking to find out the coagulation values are given, compare the coagulation powers. So that is now this is not correct. The other way we have to write coagulation value power of AlCl3 by coagulation power of NaCl is equal to coagulation value of NaCl by coagulation value of AlCl3. This is equal to, you have to compare this one, and 52 is the coagulation value of this one, 0.093. This comes to the, if you work out, this comes to the 559. That is the protecting power of that is coagulating power of that is AlCl3 is 559 times more than that of that is sodium chloride. This is the 559. 559 is this many times. AlCl3 is more powerful coagulating agent than that is sodium chloride. Coagulating power of HCl with that of KBr. That is coagulating power of HCl divided by coagulating power of KBr. We have to take the ratio to be determined. Given that coagulating values are 30.8 for the HCl and 138 is the KBr. So now it is the reciprocal of this one, 138. this is equal to, that is 138 divided by, that is 30.8. This comes to the, that is 4.48. So that is, and HCl is 4.48 times, that is a more, has a greater coagulating power than, that is KBr. So the protecting power of the, that is the coagulating power of the 1 gram of the HCl is equal to 4.48 grams of the, that is KBr. Or you can tell in the milligrams, ratio is given and this is the answer. So similar to the previous problem, that is coagulating power of the HCl by coagulating power of the KBr is equal to, that is and the coagulating value of the, that is KBr divided by coagulating value of the, that is HCl, reciprocal. 138 by 38.8 is the 4.48. This is the coagulating power of the HCl is 4.48 times more than that of the, that is KBr. See here, 100 ml of the colloidal solution is taken. 100 ml of gold salt. 100 ml of the gold salt. So 0.3 grams of starch is required to prevent the precipitation and addition of 1 ml of the 10% sodium chloride solution. See, find out the gold number. First of all, we should know the what is the gold number. See, in the, to decide, this is the number of milligrams. Number of milligrams of starch to be added. Ten ml of gold salt. That is number of milligrams of the starch that to be added to 10 ml of the gold salt. We have to find out. Here 100 ml is used. For 100 ml, 3 grams is required. For 10 ml, that is 0.3 grams is required. So here it is 0.3 grams for the 100 ml, and that is for 10 ml 0.03 grams is 0.03 grams starch is required. So 0.03 grams is equal to, it has to be converted into the milligrams, that is 30 milligrams of starch is required, right? 30 milligrams of the starch is required. So therefore, see, this gold number is 30 milligrams, that is 30 is the gold number. Milligrams of the starch that is required to prevent the coagulation of, that is 10 ml of the gold salt, an addition of 1 ml of 10% sodium chloride. Therefore, 30 is the answer, correct answer for this. So this is 30. You are translating into the